Here we go. The verb to break in Spanish is romper. How would you say he breaks? Rompe. He breaks it. Lo rompe. The word for again is otra vez. Otra vez. How would you say this? I'm not going to buy it again if he breaks it. No voy a comprarlo otra vez si lo rompe. Here you can see we have both elements put together. First of all, the modal verb structure is here. No voy a comprarlo. Then we're linking it together with the present tense. If he breaks it. Si lo rompe. This is how we're able to create more sophisticated sentences, grown-up sentences if you like, by combining both elements together. So again, how would you say, I'm not going to buy it again if he breaks it? No voy a comprarlo otra vez si lo rompe. The verb to depend in Spanish is depender. How would you say, it depends? Depende. Do you remember how to say, I don't know? No sé. And how would you say, to be here? Estar aquí. Now let's try a more sophisticated sentence. I don't know if I can tell her today. It depends if she's going to be here later. No sé si puedo decirle hoy. Depende si va a estar aquí más tarde. Now let's isolate what's going on here. First of all, we have modal verb structure. No sé, I don't know if I can tell her. This is the modal verb structure. Si puedo decirle hoy. Then we have present tense. It depends. Depende. Followed by more modal verb structure. Si va a estar aquí más tarde. So again, we have a sophisticated sentence by combining both elements together. Try to say it once more. No sé si puedo decirle hoy. Depende si va a estar aquí más tarde. Let's try another sentence related to this one. I don't know. It depends if I'm going to be there. No sé. Depende si voy a estar allí. This one is shorter, but we're still combining present tense and modal verbs. So, I don't know. No sé. It depends, depende. And now here's our modal verb structure. Depende si voy a estar allí. How do you say I want? Quiero. And what is he, she, or it wants? Quiere. I don't know. It depends if she wants to tell me. No sé. Depende si quiere decirme. How would you say, I don't know, it depends if she wants to tell me? No sé, depende si quiere decirme. Of course, you could also throw in ella to make it crystal clear that you're saying if she wants to tell me. No sé, depende si ella quiere decirme. What's the verb to call? Llamar. How would you say she calls? Llama. And she calls you? Te llama. Now try this. If she calls you, I want to know. Si te llama, quiero saber. Here we have present tense. Si te llama, if she calls you. I want to know, this is modal verb structure. Quiero saber. Remember that what I mean by modal verb structure is, first of all, you have a modal verb such as quiero, necesito, tengo que, and so forth, followed by, or which is always followed by, a full verb, so there's little conjugation in it. Once again, how do you say this? If she calls you, I want to know. Si te llama, quiero saber. What's the verb to pay? Pagar. He pays. Paga. He pays me. Me paga. I can buy it tomorrow if he pays me. Puedo comprarlo mañana si me paga. How would you say he pays you? Te paga. We're going to call him if he doesn't pay you. Vamos a llamarle si no te paga. I'm sure by now you can clearly see the modal verb structure combined with the present tense. So here we have modal verb. Vamos a llamarle. Going to call him. Followed by present tense. If he doesn't call you, si, or if he doesn't pay you, si no te paga. Do you remember how to say on time? A tiempo. Now say this. We're going to call him if he doesn't pay you on time. Vamos a llamarle si no te paga a tiempo. What's the verb to use? Usar. And how do you say he uses? Usa. He uses it. Lo usa. I want to see if he uses it. Quiero ver si lo usa. The verb to arrive is llegar. How would you say it arrives? Llega. Now try this. They're going to tell me if it arrives today. Van a decirme si llega hoy. So, they're going to tell me modal verb structure. Van a decirme. If it arrives, si llega hoy. How would you say it doesn't arrive? No llega. So, it arrives, llega. It doesn't arrive, no llega. They're going to tell me if it doesn't arrive today. Van a decirme si no llega hoy. What's the verb to admire? Admirar. How would you say he admires? Admira. He admires her. La admira. I don't know why he admires her. No sé por qué la admira. To say so much in Spanish would be tanto. Tanto. Let's use it. I don't know why he admires her so much. No sé por qué la admira tanto. Sometimes we can surprise ourselves with what we're able to say in Spanish. I'm going to try to give you an example. Look at this next sentence. She suffers because you're not here with her. Now, on the surface, your first reaction might be to say, well, there's no way I can say that in Spanish. But we're going to try to do just that. So let's break it down. First of all, the verb to suffer, do you remember it? Sufrir. How would you say she suffers? Sufre. So remember, all we did was get rid of the ending, the IR, and replace it with an E. Sufre. He or she or it suffers. Now, how would we say you're here? Estás aquí. This goes back to work we did earlier in the module with ser and estar. So I'm here, estoy aquí. You're here, estás aquí. Now let's try to put it together. She suffers because you're not here with her. How would you say that? Sufre porque no estás aquí con ella. Now, I realized that this lesson probably felt a little bit trickier, a little bit harder to do. That's because we're pushing the boundaries out a bit further, and I also want to stretch you a little bit further as well. As we add more and more things into our Spanish, you'll find that the power of your Spanish will increase, and the sophistication of your sentences will also increase. Pushing ourselves a little bit further from time to time is all part of the learning process.